How is everybody doing? Sorry, I'm a bit late this morning, this afternoon, whichever it is for you. Just mesmerized by this NASDAQ. Wow. And the Dow, absolutely explosive moves today. Good afternoon, Danny, Monkey, Fletch, David. How we doing? Reverend, Noob, Crom, Ryan, Jury. How we doing? Have I signed the petition yet? What petition's that? Petition? What is that? To shut down Greg Secker? I don't know. Is there a petition for that? That'd be good. Afternoon, Tom. Evening. We'll start off with the news. This no trades this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are, on the NASDAQ or the Dow. Pre-market range is too small today, below 10% of ADR, but a massive explosive move. If you have taken these pre-markets today, you're about 3R already, but they were less than 10%. Rules is rules, so I've not taken it. I don't think I'm going to get a trade on at all this afternoon because yeah, that 5-minute range is far too big. That's way more than 20% of the average daily range and the NASDAQ, so there won't be any trades this afternoon on the indices. So yes, to get Starmer put out. No, I haven't. Afternoon, Adam. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody in America, as David's just said. Yes, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow. So no US session tomorrow and early close on Friday or half day on Friday. So basically just don't trade US indices tomorrow or Friday because either the liquidity is going to be light, it's going to be really slippy, or it's just not going to move. So today's the last day of US indices until Monday. Yeah, there's not going to be any trades today. It's huge. So basically, there's your opening ranges, which are about to go in 20 seconds. What you do with that, up to you. NASDAQ is going completely the opposite way to the Dow Jones. So yeah, complete mess. Pre-market trade was the one today, but too small. So there we go. Afternoon, Mumo. Yeah, I don't know if I want Starmer out or not. I don't agree with some of the stuff he's done as soon as he got in. But are they any worse than the last lot? It's politics, isn't it? Doesn't matter who you put in charge. They lie. They do things they weren't meant to do. They don't do things they were meant to do. And they argue all the time. Pretty much politics, isn't it? 3 million signatures in 2 days, is there? Blimey. Who are you going to replace him with, though? This is the thing. It's basically the same as in the US at the moment, isn't it? Like in the US, you've had Kamala Harris and Trump, or Biden and Trump, and they're saying the same thing. Which one do you pick? It's the best of the two bad ones, and we've got the same thing here. When you have a two-party system, and we've got multiple parties in the UK, but really there's two. Conservative and Labour. None of the others ever get in, do they? So they're both crap. Anyway, not going to go into politics. Got in the S&P, and of course it's barely moving. What's the S&P up to? Yeah, S&P 5-minute is a whipsaw. That's coming down quite hard. That'll probably come down with the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's coming down. So, yeah, it's just too much volume at the open today. Not really a lot you can do with that today. Very, very odd open. But if you do want to take a break, obviously there's your opening range. You've probably triggered short on the NASDAQ, but I mean, that's huge. That range there is 692. 20% of ADR is 637. So to get a 1R out of that, you're relying on the market moving 80% of its average daily range, which is going to be hard. And that's just to get 1R. It's just, 2R. It's just not worth mucking about with really today. Anyway, afternoon for Virginia. So quite a bit banked this week. Today I have banked some stuff. What have I banked today? I've forgotten. Euro New Zealand Oh yeah, it's all the New Zealand stuff. So Euro New Zealand out of the shorts on that. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So this is mainly on the New Zealand news. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar out of that one today. Aussie New Zealand I got out of yesterday. So I got out of Aussie New Zealand yesterday because I was worried about basically this was only about 0.25 profit, but it was profit, and obviously this could have done that today. If that had done that, I'd been annoyed. So I took it, and obviously it went 200 ADR. Obviously, because I got out, it went 200 ADR in my direction. That's what happens in trading. So not a bad week so far. So 3.56% up this week. I've got hardly any drawdown. Good exposure. I've taken a US dollar yen this morning. I don't like trading the yen at the moment, but it's a really nice support area. Here we're very extended on the hourly. It's 125% of its average daily range, and we've got US news, unemployment claims, and we've also got PCE this afternoon. So I'm hoping we're just going to get a little pop on it, but big strong moves on the yen at the moment. So just to recap the news, glad to be out of GU buys. Yeah. Yep, so 125-ish on that. I'll be getting in short on that today if we get a 125 ADR. Actually, I'll be getting in short on an RSI, possibly. If that just flip-flops around and RSI drops before it crosses the moving average, I won't be in. So, but if it pushes up above ADR today, I'll be in on that short. But yeah, if you're out on that, good. Nice little reversal there. So there's your reversal alert, your retest. We went into a symmetrical triangle and then broke. So nice. So potentially you could be looking at pushing all the way back up to there. Sorry, I've just noticed my CPU's going mad. I've got a test running. I need to stop. There we go. Right, yeah, so news today. Obviously, we've had overnight the CPI for the Australian dollar. That came out as a negative. That's really good for the Aussies. So that means they can drop interest rates, finally. Aussies haven't dropped interest rates yet. Last ones to do it. So, or not substantially. So, you know, it's on the cards. So we should be seeing a weak Australian dollar. Market so far today, if we look at the ADR dash, we got a load of ADRs, mainly New Zealand, but Aussie today off of that news didn't really get a reaction. So we got a bit of a whipsaw on the news there, but no real strength or weakness in any direction on that one. We've also had New Zealand dollar interest rates come out, 4.25. That was forecast. So the New Zealand dollar absolutely screaming on this. Not the result I expected on an interest rate drop, but it's absolutely flown. 200 ADR. New Zealand is off the charts today. Not quite sure why we've had such a dramatic reaction to it. If you look at the where are we? There we go. There's the rate cut that came in. There wasn't an awful lot in the meeting minutes. The main thing was lower OCR next year, but nothing particularly exciting. But projections aligned with a 50 basis point cut in February, depending on activity. So I think what the market's doing is it's rallying because it's now knows that there are no interest rate cuts due for 2 months. The New Zealanders do really only do it quarterly, the interest rates. So what they're saying is basically we're not changing interest rates for a quarter. That doesn't make it bullish. It means it's kind of neutral and will go bearish early next year. So I'm not quite sure why the market's had such a big positive reaction to it. But obviously it has. So I'd be willing to mean revert any of these moves on the New Zealand dollar, really, if they fall in line with the strategies. So we've got the euro rates are not going to be cut. So limited room for further rate cuts. So it means ECB is slowing down those rate cuts, which kind of brings it back into neutral territory again. Apart from that, overnight, obviously, we've had the ceasefire with Israel and Lebanon, which is good. They're not going to cease fire with Gaza, so that is still going on. As you can see here, Russia is still moaning, flexing its muscles, blah, blah, blah. So there's still a hell of a lot of tension in the Russian area. So, but that's your overnight news. We've just had employment claims come out as forecast and GDP come out as forecast. So there's no reaction on the US to those numbers. We just had durable goods come out slightly down. PMI's not really doing much. But so PCE is your next main news at 3 o'clock. So there's your overnight news and everything covered. We'll look through the ADRs and RSIs. There's quite a few of those. But we'll go for those in a second. Afternoon, everybody else. Entered pound CAD sales, David. I will not be getting into that because the cost is too high for shorts. So I got out of my longs on the pound CAD yesterday. Nice little profit on those. Nice pullback into propulsion. They've rebought. So I'll be looking for any moves down here to get in long again on that, but not shorting it because it's too expensive. For me anyway. Afternoon, Mark. Afternoon, Blue Trader. Pontevedra is sunny and cloudy. Always good. Thanksgiving Day has gone ahead. For me, the week is over. Yeah. So these moves that we're seeing at the open here, a lot of volume coming at the open today. We'll see if we get any movement, but it's the day before Thanksgiving. As you can see, this week so far on the indices, absolutely dire. We had a little push up towards the end of yesterday. Absolutely no Globex movement today. This is the week open. This is where we are on the NASDAQ. So just nothing this week. This week's a write-off. We've had very much the same on the FTSE and the DAX. I had two nice trades today on the DAX. Was well, I was saying nice trades. Wasn't particularly nice, to be honest. It was okay. We broke short on the DAX. Nice clean break. I took 2R profit. Because it was a very fast. When it moves this fast, I'm always wary about a complete reversal. So I took 2R on the first half, stopped out in the second half, almost to the pip in profit, and then it collapsed down to 4. So unfortunately, missed that. And the FTSE, bloody hell, FTSE was a hedge. I got second entry on there. I took another entry down here and I'm out at a few £100. So profitable day all round on the indices today for Europe. But as I was just going to point out, Europe's the same. Odd gappy week on the DAX, but no movement. It's been absolute rotation this week. So I've had 2 hedges this week. It's just been really, really crap rotation wise. I think if because today was a double, that was a clean break, but that was a hedge today as well. So I think I might just take the rest of the week off indices because they're just not moving this week. It's Thanksgiving, markets are really flat. So I think these weeks, if you're trading SIH and you're getting hedged, you're just locking in losses. If you're trading normal stop loss based strategy on indices, these weeks are the weeks you get absolutely slaughtered. People blow accounts in prop this week. You'll just hemorrhage cash because all it's doing is going up and down. Every time you get a signal one way, it goes the other way. You get a signal the other way, it goes the other way. It's very hard to trade it. When you try and build a range, it goes a little bit beyond the range, stops you out. You know, it's just a horrible, horrible price action week this week. So glad to see the back of it. So ADRs and RSIs and everything. I'll just quickly before I go into that, just for the members in here that we're covering these new strategies in the members group. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Just need to close some orders over here. Got a load of orders open which I want to shut. There we go. So the strategies that we're running in the members group at the moment, the lazy trader strategy got out of the pound US today. Nice profit, 1.2%. So up 1.4 on the month. Obviously, it's only been running for a couple of weeks, but it's up. And obviously, we just got some normal open positions at the moment. Nothing anywhere near any problems. So, yeah, it's looking good. I had a nice exit on that today. I just want to point that out because this was the first trade that we've experienced that had drawdown, and we've got out. So yeah, it's good. The breakout pullback strategy, still in drawdown, still waiting just for a day. Just want a day, one day where we get a trend. We haven't had a trend since we started this. This is a trend pullback strategy that I've been developing. Really, really good in back testing. But obviously, because it's a trend strategy, it doesn't work particularly well in range-bound conditions. Since I started live forward testing, we've had nothing but range-bound conditions. So we need 3 trades to hit TP, and that will all be gone and it'll all be profit. But yeah, so at the moment we got one on the US dollar Swiss, which is locked in profit. We're looking for a push down. So there's a good chance we might be back in profit on this within the next week. But it's, yeah, stuck. Anyway, I just wanted to update you on those. What we covered in the members group on Tuesday was position trading support and resistance. So I did a full session for, I think it was, how long did that go on for? 3 hours? It was a long one. 2.5. It went on for too long. 2 hours 52. That was. So we did a session basically on position trading using market structure. So a no indicator variation of position trading, which is what I used to do. As I was doing that, I came up with a bright idea of building an EA to allow us to do that in the backtester so we could all practice. So I've done it. So we have an EA here, which I've been developing. I'm going to cover this more tomorrow in the members stream. But basically what it allows us to do is to basically trade support resistance. Yeah, so we just say, I want to get in here, I want to get in here. And if we get there, it will get me in. Yeah, so it's basically exactly what we were doing in the members streams. But now I've built a tool basically, which allows us to do it, to trade it. So position trades manual support resistance. So it's not finished yet, but it's part of another EA that I've been developing. But I thought it'd be a good idea to put something together that we can use to practice it, basically, because I got a lot of positive feedback from people about it. So I thought, why not build an EA to do it? So this will cover more tomorrow in the members stream, how this works and what it does. But yeah, ignore all the lines on here. It's all a bit of a mess at the minute. But yeah, it's a good little EA. Obviously, I've only taken 2 trades and they're 100% because I'm amazing. But anyway, we'll cover it tomorrow. So we'll be doing that tomorrow in the members streams. If you're not a member and you're interested, pop in. Right, so we'll have a look at the ADRs and RSIs. How's my meme coin portfolio going? What's my meme coin portfolio? What? No idea what that is. Where is the member section on Discord? I'd like to see the rules for the lazy trader, etc. It's in, so you're not a member, Silver, so you can't see it. If you are a member, you will be able to see it. So if you're a member, there's if you go to the channel and go to posts, if you are a member, this explains how to link your Discord channel to your YouTube channel, your YouTube account. So it will basically just show you the members. It's under information. It's there. YouTube members. So it's up in the information section. If you're a member, obviously, and you've linked your Discord to YouTube, it will just automatically give you that channel. And everything you need to know about what we're doing in the members is all in there. Will non-members be able to buy it? Yeah, anyone could buy anything, but I don't know if I'm going to release it as I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. It's I've just developed it basically as a tool for testing, but it does run live. I've got it running live here as well. Not that version. That's an old version. But yeah, it will. Yeah, if I develop it into a commercial product, yeah, anyone can have it. YouTube members will get a discount on it, basically, and get it early. That's all. Okay, we'll figure it out. Back to the show. Have you not seen the meme coin insanity recently? No, I don't. Bitcoin is the biggest scam in the planet. I don't pay any attention to anything to do with any crypto. Crypto to me is like prop. Prop to me is like binary options. Yeah. None of it works on fundamentals, technicals, or anything, and it's all just manipulated by brokers. So I'm not interested in any of it. If it hasn't got a fundamental that drives it, no one on this planet right now can tell me who invented Bitcoin, where he lives, and how rich he is. Yeah. It's been made up out of nowhere by somebody. Yeah. What drives it? If you can't tell me what drives an instrument, I can't trade it. I know why oil goes up and down. I know why gold goes up and down. I know why Forex goes up and down. I know why the stock indices and individual stocks go up and down. Bitcoin doesn't even exist. It's just something that exists digitally in the ether. There is no fundamental driver behind it, and it isn't a regular currency, and none of the crypto is. So I'm just not interested, because I trade stuff that I can understand, and I don't understand it. No one's been able to explain it. I've asked many people over the years to explain to me how to trade Bitcoin. All they say is, well, what you do is you wait for it to accumulate, and then you take a breakout, and then you hold it. Right, okay. So why does it go up? It just breaks out. No, why? It just does. Well, it just does it? Right, okay. So it's exactly that reason I don't trade it. And this is the thing. Have you seen the meme coin insanity lately? No. If I have an instrument that can go insane for any reason that is not technical or fundamental, it shouldn't be traded, because it's just being manipulated by something in the ether that makes it go mad. If you're on the wrong side of it, you'll lose your house. It's just, one of those things I just don't trade. Can't trade it. But I think most of the people I see out there trading Bitcoin are children, basically. I class them as children. I'm 50 years old. Yeah, anybody that's under the age of 25 that's on YouTube doing trading is basically selling you something, because they're not a professional trader. They're just basically playing around with Bitcoin. They've basically had a lucky run, or something's happened where they've made money. So now they're teaching you how to trade Bitcoin. They don't even understand what Bitcoin is. They don't know how it works. Yeah, it's all anyway, just my opinion. But if Elon Musk opens his mouth and mentions the word Doge, yeah, most people under the age of 30 will be going, he's talking about Dogecoin. Most of us normal people that understand he's just been put in charge of the Department of Government Expenditure, Doge, will be going, that's what he's talking about. But Dogecoin will go through the roof, because the idiots think he's talking about Doge and he's going to buy it. So they go, Elon Musk's buying it, and it goes up. That isn't something you can trade. If someone opens their mouth and makes something move, I say that, we do the same thing with Trump. But if someone opens their mouth and makes something move, you shouldn't be trading it, in my opinion. But anyway, there we go. That was a good rant, wasn't it? Right, back to normal stuff. ADR and RSI. There's a hell of a lot of them today. Most of them are Aussie dollars. So if you're looking to get into these, bear in mind, this is a reaction to the New Zealand dollar interest rates dropping and them saying they're going to freeze it. I don't think this is actually the move that we should be seeing. A massive 200% ADR rally on New Zealand dollar because they've dropped the rates. So for me, these are all good mean reversion opportunities. However, obviously, me personally at the moment, I'm trading in line with swap. Longs on this are going to cost me too much if I'm wrong. So I'm not getting in on Aussie New Zealand longs. You would have had an opportunity to get into this a little bit earlier today. In fact, would you have? No, you wouldn't. Or would you? Don't think so. No. So there's not been a reversal alert long on this today. If you were taking moving average cross entries, you would have been on that candle there. But you wouldn't have actually been in until there because the size of that candle. So it's very hard to trade this today. If you look at the other pairs as well, New Zealand dollar CAD, very hard to get in short on it. That candle there was your confirmation, and as soon as it did that, it flew off in the other direction. So we've just had a reversal alert short on the New Zealand CAD now at 200 ADR, but it's still really going, isn't it? So if we break down below that propulsion gap here, oh God, I can't draw today. That resistance that it's bouncing off at the moment, and that propulsion, so if we can break down below that and then retest, that would be a good short entry today. But I'd be wary of this. The market's really overreacting to this New Zealand dollar rates. We've seen this before, though. I've said in here many times, you know, the New Zealand dollar, if you look at it on a higher time frame, the New Zealand dollar has taken off for absolutely no reason with interest rates. So places like this, the New Zealand dollar didn't change their interest rates. They told us they weren't going to change their interest rates. They didn't change their interest rates. We got exactly what we're expecting to get, and the market went like that for 6 weeks. Yeah. For some reason at the moment, there's a absolutely huge overreaction to all New Zealand dollar news. I don't quite know why. I can't quite work that one out. It's not normal, but it's happening. So be careful with this because it could, you know, just take off for a week or so. So if you're going to trade it, for me personally, I would try to stick in line with what's going on with swaps. So for example, New Zealand CAD, I will short this one. Oh no, sorry, I won't. I'll only long it. So I'm not going to take shorts on it. Too expensive. Tempting, but I'd rather get in on that type of move. But if you want to take an ADR scalp, just look for price action for shorts on it. You've got a reversal at roughly 150 ADR on the 15. You've just had one on the 5. So that's extended. All the New Zealand pairs are. So I won't go through them all in detail, but New Zealand US, I'm out of that one today, out of the longs. So there's a good mean reversion short opportunity, but be careful. Just don't go for massive targets on it. Maybe go for a quarter, a third of an ADR, something like that. Don't go for big reversals on these because they probably won't. US dollar yen I've got into today. So this is a 125 ADR. It's also an H1 RSI below the 80 level. So I'm long there. First entry, looking for a push back up into propulsion. However, this is a carry trade. So what I'm looking at here is a bounce off of the lows. So we had this big, strong push on the last US news. I'm looking for that basically to have limit orders trigger. So watch this area here, which is your last week's low. We'll probably find resistance at that propulsion gap there. So that would be a good target to the upside, which is about 1.25 ADR. So that's target to the upside on that one. So I'm long that one. New Zealand Swiss is also extended. Again, same thing. We're above 125 ADR. I only want to long against the Swiss because of the cost. So not getting into that one. There was an entry there last week, which I didn't take. That would have been a nice profit if I had. Pound New Zealand, I'm not trading that either direction at the moment. It's just too expensive. But you've had an ADR reversal on that one. It's already played out. Not much. You've had 60 out of it, so you've had half an ADR out of that one. Euro New Zealand also massively extended. Got out my shorts on that today. This was a bit of a weird one. This day here was a massive day. We had I don't know what that move was, but it was huge, wasn't it? 300 odd, 224. So that was about 200 and something ADR. Then it pulled back 125% of ADR. So the EA took a short because we got a 125 ADR short. It then pushed up another ADR, second entry, and I got out today. So nice little trade that Euro New Zealand, but you've got a long opportunity there if you want to take that one. CAD yen also extended. Very strong yen at the moment. That's pretty much the same as the US dollar yen. You're going to get very similar movement on those two. So I would just take one or the other. I've gone with US yen because we get more news on the US dollar. So there's more likelihood of movement, and there's a more likelihood of Trump popping it as well, which is what I like. Aussie New Zealand obviously is massively extended to the downside. Beautiful support coming up. But this is, if you look at this area we've got here, that is your 3-week low, your 2-week low. Your 1-week low is this broker candle, but it is all the same level. So this is a pretty good area here for a bounce. It's absolutely, it's 225 ADR in a day. We're off the back of a 2-day drop as well. So if you look at this on a daily chart, this is a massive drop. Yeah. You don't find massive drops like this and pops like this very often. So, you're going to get a reversion on it at some point. So it could be we just pull back, but likelihood is we may well continue on it. Don't forget, CPI number on the Australian dollar has come out lower than expected today. So that's a 2.1. We're expecting a 2.5. So we were expecting the bounce. We didn't get it. We got exactly the same as last time. So CPI hasn't moved. They also haven't moved interest rates. So this is a good indicator to drop interest rates now. So could well see bearish price action over the coming weeks on Aussie. And obviously they've had a big positive reaction to the New Zealand interest rate drop. So I would expect that type of price action. However, fundamentally, Aussie is short and New Zealand should also be short off the back of that interest rate. So it could well just go into a mean reversion and sort of go into a range from here. But wait and see. So there is a long opportunity on that one. That's the most extended of the day, 225 ADR along with the New Zealand CAD. So still haven't had a reversal alert on that. We haven't even broken above the, I think that's a 5. Yeah, 5 MA, look. So it's been hugging the 5 all day. Really strong parabolic trend. It will just pop. There'll be a profit take on this and we'll just get a pop like that at some point. Likelihood is, but I mean, we're at exactly the spot you would expect that to happen. Look at all these lows. So good looking opportunity for longs there. However, I'm always thinking ahead. If it does that and that, it's going to cost me. So I'm not trading it. I'm sticking with my rules, which is at the moment trading in line with the swap. I don't and wouldn't. It's just people versus people, but people are making millions off like $50. Yeah. It's the way I see crypto is exactly the same as I saw binary options. People made a lot of money on binary options. People make a lot of money trading news. People make a lot of money trading prop, but none of them are consistently profitable. It's gambling. It's pure gambling, all of it. But I can walk into a casino, and I've used this analogy before. I have walked into a casino with 200, 300 pound in my pocket and walked out with $1,000. Yeah. Everybody can have a lucky run. But I can't walk into a casino every week and walk out with $1,000. It's not going to happen. Eventually, the casino is going to take everything I've got because that's the way it works. That's where the edge is. And this is the same with all manipulated instruments that don't have a fundamental behind them. Binary options were the same. Binary options were manipulated by brokers. Everybody that trades the VIX doesn't realize it's a manipulated synthetic instrument. Yeah, it's the volatility index provided by a broker. Yeah. So it's all manipulated. And this is the same with crypto. Elon Musk can open his mouth and make crypto go nuts. And he has. Hey, guess what, guys? Tesla is going to start taking Bitcoin for cars. Oh, no, we're not. Yeah. You can't trade that. You don't know when he's going to talk. We do, however, know exactly when the Forex markets are going to move, and we know exactly when the stock markets are going to move. So if I know something's going to move, I can trade it. When you don't know something's going to move, you just have to be in the right place at the right time, which is fine. But what you find is people will suddenly generate courses because they've had 6 weeks worth of luck, and they'll go, here you go, this is how I did it. And everyone will start doing it, and it doesn't work. But anyway, crypto, love it. Maybe I'm just old and maybe it's the future, but until it is the future, I'm sticking in the past because the past has worked for 200 years. And as long as there are people that want to buy and sell currencies, this thing's going to go up and down. As long as this goes up and down, I will make money. That's it. So anyway, RSIs, very, very extended on the yens, as you can see. Aussie yen, huge extensions on the 4 hour. So if we flick over to 4, we've got very, very big extension here. If you go back out and look at previous times we've been down at this zone, we got one entry there, which is behind my head. You can't see it, but it's this. There's one there. There's one here. Obviously, this is the intervention, so you kind of ignore that because it's the intervention. This is the first time we've been down there, though, since these two moves here. So potentially we've got a pullback on our hands. I'm still undecided on whether or not the yen is a carry trade still. So the market at the moment, obviously the interest rate swaps are buy. So, you know, it is at the moment still fundamentally something that the markets will look to continuously buy because the interest rates are so low. However, the Japanese obviously did something they've never done before. And now the market, as you can see, is scared shitless of that happening again. So I think there's a big reluctance at the moment for institutions to put money into the yen unless there's a safe haven run required. Which it still reacts to, but long term it's very difficult to call. So there is a nice opportunity for longs. We're extended on the daily as well here at the moment. So yeah, good looking bounce. It's just starting to reverse now as well. We've had a 15-minute reversal alert just gone in at ADR and a retest. So structures broken and we've retested. So it looks to me on the lower time frames like we are starting to get a decent reaction on that one, and it's a lovely extension on the hourly and a lovely extension on the 4 hourly. So good opportunity for longs there. I've taken the US dollar yen, which is also extended. So you can see obviously we're down to 12.2 on Aussie yen, we're down to 13.1 on the US yen. So I've taken the US yen. Very much the same reason, very extended to the downside, but we've also got a very nice support area here. We've got a nice support coming up here as well. And obviously this previous 2-month high. But since that monthly high and that high there, we've just had a gradual climb. So if it does break this level and invalidates that level, I'm not sure that's going to hold. I think this is the area we're probably looking to come and retest, which is this propulsion move. Yeah. So that is going to be a scaling of probably 3, maybe 4 positions, but I don't care. They're paying me $10 swap long. So I'm going to be paid to hold the trade, which is what I don't mind at the moment. But yeah, very extended on the 4 hour. Again, going back out on the 4 hour on this one and looking at that level. Excluding the intervention leg, which is this here, we've had one opportunity to long it at this level here, one opportunity to long it there, one opportunity to long it there. Yeah, we're looking for a bounce. We almost got one there, but it was a little bit shy. So looking for a bounce play on it. It'll either carry on like that, which is fine. It will hit my target and blow through it. If it doesn't, I'm looking for it to pull back into resistance and then drop and continue this market structure that we've put in short. So don't mind which it does, as long as it does some kind of pullback. And at the moment, obviously, as you can see, it's moving quite nicely. Just about to get a reversal on the 30-minute on that. We've had a 15-minute already. and that is at 125 ADR. Sorry, 150 today. So what's going on there? Oh, sorry, the 15-minute reversal, that's just about to go in. So we have had one already. No, we haven't. Sorry, this is the first reversal alert of the day at ADR. We had a reversal alert there, but this is the first one of the day since we've hit ADR. So this is your first reversal going in now. So potentially retest and run from here. And I'm looking to go up into 150 ADR, which is testing this level here, which is the weekly. So looking basically for that little bounce we got there. They bought up the weekly lows. They got run over. So anybody that was long here flipped short. When they flip to this level, they're going to short it again. So that's why I'm looking to get out at that point. So yeah, good looking opportunity on the US dollar yen. CAD yen and Swiss yen also extended to the downside. Lovely rejection going in there. As you can see at the moment, you kind of missed that one. You should have been that already. Maybe not. Yeah, 15-minute reversal alert, literally just about to trigger in 1 minute. So you're just about to get that one trigger. So if you want, you can get in straight on the reversal alert, which is going to form, or you can wait for the retest and pop. Target upside on that one. We got this accumulation for an entire day yesterday. So this propulsion gap, actually this whole thing here is one massive propulsion gap. Yeah, so this low is what we broke with the propulsion. These lows here we broke through, so it's basically broken through this zone. Yeah, and we tried to bounce it and it couldn't get through, so collapsed back down. So watch this area, it's likely to double top. So that's CAD yen. Swiss yen also extended to the downside again, just about tapped ADR. Nice extension on the hourly. Yeah, so looking for that pullback up into this area here. Again, you know, this could well be the low and we're just going to rally from here, but if it is going to continue market structure, you're looking for something like that. So we got nice big propulsion gap here which broke that low. You've got that didn't really break, it kind of hit a hurdle there, but I'd be looking for at least an ADR on that. Could well go higher. Obviously, if we go back above that level with broken structure, back up to the upside. So yeah, so all looking good with those. There's lots of extensions on the yens, all good opportunities. Aussie New Zealand is a 4-hour as well. Again, we're just getting down to that 10. We're 14.18 at the moment, but it's getting close to being right down at these lows. Again, this sort of level, when we get down to the 10s on the RSI 10 on the 14, sorry, RSI 10 level on the RSI 10, you know, these extensions typically are very, very good at finding the bottoms. Yeah. So this is a very big extension, and look how quick this one has happened as well. Look at the speed of that move there. Look at the speed of that move there. Speed of that move there. Speed of this move is bigger than those last three. Yeah, so a push back up into propulsion on the 4-hour, not off the cards at all. Unfortunately, I'm looking for shorts on it, and I got out my shorts before the news in case it popped, and obviously it didn't. So I will get in on that. If we get a 125 ADR pullback on it, I will short it. We're unlikely to get back up here. But if we do get up there on the hourly, so I will be looking for an RSI on the hourly above that level for shorts. I will short it. But not going long on this one just because it's too expensive. But it is such a good level. It's a triple weekly low. So you got the low here, we broke. They rebought it. We came down. They rebought it. We came down. They rebought it, which is your 2-week low. We came down. We rebought it. Your last week's low. We pushed all the way up there. We've come all the way back down again. Yeah, the buyers are strong here. However, when we were here last time, we were not knowing that the drop of 4.25 was coming on the interest rate for the New Zealand, and we didn't know that the CPI was not going to bounce on the Australian dollar. So it may well be that market sentiment here is different. However, I'd be very surprised if it can get too far through this level without pulling back, because there's not going to be anybody left to buy this. Yeah, if you want to continue selling this, you need buyers. People have been run over too much on this. They've all flipped short. So by the time we get down to this level here, which is about 275 ADR today, if we were to get there today, that thing is going to pop. So it'll either pop from there or it'll pop from there in all likelihood. So you've got a nice little potential position trade, taking one there and taking one at half an ADR. This is exactly where you want my new EA. Yeah, it's just to be able to pop that on there and just say, when we hit that, trade out of it. Yeah, so good level. Or you could use the new buy limit button and you just place your buy limit there. Good, isn't it? Buy limit button now. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to go long, but you could do that. So you could basically, I mean, you could literally use Position Trader EA right now to set the whole trade up. This is a great example of why the buttons are there. Yeah, so it's extended here. I don't want to wait for confirmation on this. I just want to get in because it's absolutely exhausted. So you hit the buy button now, you get straight in with a long. It will automatically put the next trade in for you. And if it's 3/4 of an ADR, it's probably going to be below that level. So hit the buy limit button and stick your second order right at this low. So if it doesn't bounce there and it does bounce there, you get out into that propulsion gap with 2 positions. Nice profit. Simple trade. But if that doesn't work out, look out below. Yeah. So the next resistance is, which will turn support, is here. And then you're looking at coming all the way down into this multi kind of weak balance where the market was in equilibrium. Then we had the price discovery, and then we started buying from this level. So if it does break that level and that level, you're coming down into here. So just plan to get down into that level as worst case scenario. That's it. Those are your ADRs and your RSIs. That's it today. So Dow, this is why we don't trade the Dow, or I don't trade the Dow when we get huge explosive opening ranges, because the market is done. It's shot. There's nothing there. Yeah, it's done its entire volume in the initial cash balance. So there's not really any movement available. NASDAQ, however, selling off nicely off of the opening range. But you know, this is why it's hard to trade the NAS or trade anything when you get these huge moves. If you look at that opening range, to get a 1R on it, yeah, you've got to go all the way down there for a 1R. To get a 2R on this, yeah, is all the way down there. You can't get a 3R, and a 3R is what I like with the SIH. Or opening range breakout, getting a 3R on a break, a clean break. The 3R on this is beyond ADR. And this is the reason I have this rule in here for a maximum range size. If the opening range or the pre-market range is more than 20% of your average daily range, to get a 3R, the market has to move 20% here, 20, 20, 20. So the entire movement from the open needs to be 80% of its average daily range just to give you a 3R return. 80% of the average daily range is achieved around about 58% of the time. So it's achievable, but it's hard. It's very hard for the market to push beyond ADR, as we know. That's why ADR is there. It's the average daily range of the instrument. So to get beyond that average daily range takes a hell of a lot of momentum. When you get all the momentum entering in the open, there doesn't tend to be a lot left a lot of the time, which is why it peters out. And we see what's happening in the Dow today. It just gets a little bit exhausted. Yeah. And you're like, right, we've done it. That's it. I'm off. It's Thanksgiving. The market will just sit there and be in rotation for the rest of the day. So not worth bothering with really today. That's all I've got for you today. 225 Aussie New Zealand. There we go. If you've got any other pairs you want to look at or anything else you want to discuss, let me know. Afternoon, Roger. Didn't see you creep in. Watch this level. If you want to take it, obviously. So that is your previous low and that low as a second support area, which is 27 pips away, which is half an ADR. So if you're like me and you're getting 3/4 of an ADR away, your next entry will be below that zone. So I would be sticking maybe a buy limit down there. But obviously, if it just blows through that buy limit, there's nothing you can do about it, which is the problem with buy limits. They can be a little dangerous because the market will just fly through them. And today, this thing is an absolute steam train. So need to be a bit careful with it. Right. Anybody got anything else? I don't know. Caught up in chat. Anything else to discuss? Any other business? Any other instruments you want to look at? Nobody mentions gold anymore, do they? We don't play the gold game anymore. We used to have our little gold game that we used to play. Haven't used John Wick for a while, have I? He's kind of dropped off the radar a little bit. Mr. Wick. How many Wicks have we got? We got so many John Wicks. Literally, we have so many John Wicks. It's me. Hey, look. It's me as the Starfleet captain. Good, isn't it? S&P is going nuts, is it? Yeah. Look at the state of that. Wick. This is the standing joke with John Wick. Mr. Wick has entered the building. You can't trade Wicks like this. You'll be dead. Nice rejection at that low, though. That's your pre-market low today. That's your Globex lows. So they're buying the Globex low at the moment. If this is algorithmic today, which it could well be because obviously traders are off or trying to get off because it's Thanksgiving. That's a good looking buy. Stop under the lows there and just see if you can play it back up to top of the range. It's probably the best trade you can take today on that. Very, very, very wicky though. Yeah. So, you know, this type of price action is absolutely lethal for any type of trailing stop strategy. So if you get in on anything and you've got wicks like this, you will always be taken out on trailing stops, break-even stops. You just can't make money in it. So you get in, put your stop, put your target, take that or don't. But as soon as you move that up, that's going to get hit. You're going to get stopped out. So it's one of those days where, you know, you're better off just doing something else. Research days, I call them. Just do something else. US dollar CAD. So I got out my US dollar CAD long yesterday. Pound odd has just hit ADR as well. So continuation push on that pound odd. Last couple of trades I had on that were long. So yeah. US dollar CAD. I mean, we're just sitting in propulsion at the moment. So obviously this news, this move that we had yesterday on the Canadian dollar, absolutely huge. Still not really sure what happened with the CAD at all yesterday. It was a massive weakness during the Asian session on the Canadian dollar. It's a commodity pair, as is the New Zealand and the Aussie. So I suspect it's linked to a massive commodity purchase, or rather in this case, sell-off. But it's putting back into this area. And again, it looks like just a massive knee-jerk reaction. So, yeah, don't know with this one at the moment. There's no real setup for me. I would be looking to long it at the minute. So the rally that we had, obviously I got out of those shorts. That's the election. Since the election, the market's rallied. It's retested the previous highs before the election and bought them back. So market kind of bullish on the US, very weak on the Canadian at the moment. Everything's rallying against the CAD at the moment. as you can see. So, yeah, I mean, there's no signal for me at the moment. There was a short entry on it yesterday. So there was an ADR reversal yesterday. That was a massive ADR yesterday. That was, what did that get to? 200. So that was a hard 250 ADR. So 250 ADR, but in 2 hours, it moved the entire 250 ADR. So the reversal was there. Your reversal out on the 5 minute was in that candle there, and that was your short. So right now, you're either a buyer out of the propulsion gap, and this move is going to hold, or you were in yesterday and you're out. So long term, it's impossible to tell on the US dollar at the moment what is going on. So we will be driven by Trump, and we will be driven by Elon Musk. So interest rates are going to be coming down in the US, which should weaken it. But obviously, with what's going on with Trump at the moment, every time he announces a new tariff, this pop here was part of the Trump announcement on the Canadian tariff. So, you know, it's again, it's the Trump effect. It's always the Trump effect. I do know. Sorry, I said I didn't know what that was. That was the Trump move yesterday, wasn't it? So Trump announced basically that he was going to put tariffs on the Canadian dollar imports. But as I said yesterday, you need to wait for the market to do the analysis on it. It may be that 10% import duty on Canadian tariff exports is not going to make any difference. So the market will do the analysis and react. It looks like it's going to be a return to origin. But I don't know whether the US is bullish or bearish at the moment. And I think what we'll probably find is until January the 20th, the US will be very much like that. So I think you could probably trade the US in either direction for the next month. However, if we do get a Santa rally, we'll probably find the US drops. So we're looking towards the stock markets at the moment to get some clues as to whether we're going to get a Santa rally. We've had a very good week, but we have had earnings. So it's difficult to tell. But as you can see, you know, we look like we are very bullish on the stock indices at the moment. So when we get this pullback, if we rally in December, we'll probably find US dollar weakness. But I will just trade the US pairs as normal. If I get a signal on it, I'll take it. But if it's sitting around flip-flopping, I'm not doing anything with it. So wait and see. Afternoon FTNet. Virginia, US dollar CAS. Wasn't that the Trump announcement? Yeah. Yeah. So I forget what's going on. There's so much going on at the moment in the markets. It's just, you know, everything is temperamental. It's been like it for months though, isn't it? It's mainly the Ukraine situation escalating and what's going on with Israel at the moment. But the part of that conflict has scaled down, but the other part of it hasn't. And the first thing Netanyahu said when he said, right, we're going to pull out of Lebanon, we're going to have a ceasefire, everything's going to be de-escalated there so that we can focus on Iran. So the first thing he says when he says, I'm going to pull out of this one, is I'm going to now go and get that lot. So it doesn't seem like Israel wants to have peace in any way, shape or form. But they're not big enough to take on these other countries in the same way as Russia's not big enough to take on the UN. If they do get involved, the UN, Russia's just going to get steamrolled. There's way more of us than there is of them. They ain't got a chance. Well, they have got a chance. They can press a button. But, you know, at the end of the day, the markets will always react to that type of news because when you have anything conflict going on, stock markets get sold off, Swiss franc and yen get pumped, and the US to some extent does get pumped as well. So at the minute, we've got all these sorts of things which are news spikes. And like I said, if you've been in the live rooms for the last couple of weeks since the election, I've been saying not on a daily basis, but almost on a daily basis, what you're going to find if you haven't traded through a Trump presidency before, and I have traded through a Trump presidency, you're going to find that every time he opens his mouth, this happens. But 99% of the time, that happens. Every one of Trump's announcements becomes an A-shaped recovery or a V-shaped recovery. Because when he says something, he doesn't think. And it's the initial knee-jerk reaction, which you saw here. The market going, holy crap, have you seen what he's doing to the CAD? Sell all the CAD. Yeah. The analysts sit down and they go, but what that means is if they put 10% tariff on there, the Canadians will only actually be slightly worse off because they don't really export anything into America because the main export is oil and America are an exporter of oil. They don't import it. So it doesn't actually make any difference. And this is what you find. You get a knee-jerk reaction because Trump says something stupid without warning anybody. And then the market actually goes, well, no, that's a load of rubbish. So whenever you see a move on Trump, the mean reversion is the play. The problem is you never know how far it's going to go. So with ADR reversals, the hard part about ADR reversals is trying to find the turning point. So if I would say if it's a Trump move, you can scale in on any kind of bearish price action. So if you get a reversal alert on it, if you get a moving average cross on a 5 or a 9 on it, or if you just want to take some kind of price action pattern, like a 3-bar reversal, yeah, take it. If it doesn't work out, stick another one half an ADR behind it, and you'll probably find you'll get out of it the following day. And that's what I found when Trump was talking. And it's the same with Elon Musk to a certain extent. These guys have massive mouths on social media, and before they consult anybody about stuff, they go, I don't like this, I'm going to do something about it. And everyone goes, oh, and they panic. And it's the buy the rumor, sell the news. You've probably heard the terminology before. You buy the rumor, you sell the news, or you sell the rumor, you buy the news, one or the other. Whichever way it's gone, you just do the opposite to it. And 90% of the time, you'll find it work. A-shaped and V-shaped recoveries are incredibly common in trading because market reaction is instant. Analysis takes time. After analysis comes rationality. Yeah, and this is what happens all the time. This is what I was saying with this New Zealand dollar move today. You see the New Zealand going parabolic to the upside, but what's actually happened is the New Zealanders have dropped their interest rate. They told us they were going to drop their interest rate. Why would you then do that? It doesn't make sense, does it? You don't rally on interest rate drops because it's bad and devalues the currency. It's the wrong way. It's the wrong move. So I would expect this to be back down in that propulsion gap by the middle of next week, possibly by the end of this week. Yeah, because that is not the news. That is not the reaction. This is a profit take on a previous move. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, profit. Yeah. Just part of a market structure move continuation in all likelihood. However, there's no, I mean, the New Zealand dollar is a bit of an anomaly. There's not any fundamental reason to buy the New Zealand dollar on an interest rate drop. It's not the way it works. So, well, put it this way. It's not the way it's worked for the last 100 years. But stuff's changing, isn't it? Are you still taking trades at 70-30? Yeah. Yeah, 70-30 and 125 ADR is my entries, but only in line with swap. So I will be getting in 23 minutes. I will be getting in short on this if obviously price action remains bearish on the hour, because it's a 125 ADR. So I'll be short in that. The target will be down into propulsion. Aussie dollar Swiss. So Aussie dollar Swiss, obviously we've had the interest rates on the Aussie today. And sorry, not the interest rates, the inflation numbers, much worse than forecast, which is means they can drop their interest rates. So we've tapped straight into this double weekly low. So that's your 2-week low and last week's low. We rebought that yesterday. We rebought it this morning on the news. Now we've retested it and tried to rebuy it again. Propulsion gap's holding and it looks like we're going to break. So this I would say is probably coming down into this area here, into this propulsion gap. So you've probably got somewhere in the region of an ADR and a half maybe to the downside on it. 40 pips, something like that. Could go further. But again, if you're wrong, it's going to cost you. Yeah. So I'm looking for longs. So I wait till it's down here and I'll buy it out of that. I didn't manage to get on that yesterday because it didn't stay below that level long enough. But yeah, I'll be buying it down here. Oh, lovely Batman. I was going to do a little quiz then. That pattern. Batman. So it's bearish pattern. Doesn't quite, that one's a bit of a weird one, but normally a Batman goes like that. But we've got actually a dip. But we'll call it a cat. I don't know. It's not even a cat, is it? I'm just making it up. Cat pattern. Just made it up. It'll work. You watch. Goes down. So yeah, I'll be looking to buy it out of here or down in this area and long. But I mean, it's not, you know, you might get a bounce here, but if you read the price action at the level, we bought it, we've bought it, we've had news which is negative, we've retested it, 3-bar reversal into propulsion is failing. Yeah, so this propulsion gap here is sellers. Yeah, they broke through the lows. This is a reaction bounce basically by the buyers at that level trying to push back, but there's way more sellers in the propulsion area than there are buyers. So if we break that low, market structure is definitely shifting short. So you need to look for where it's going, and it's going to the next support, which is here in that propulsion gap somewhere. Afternoon, CK. S&P actually popped this time. It actually gone somewhere, is it? Dow's still inside the range. Look at the NASDAQ, 2R. That's a hell of a move. That's a good old move on the NASDAQ today. Should have got on it. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. If I'd have taken that, we'd be laughing, wouldn't we? But didn't. Lots of people in prop now getting killed, trying to mean revert this on 5-minute time frames, on 1-minute time frames. Every time they see a tail, they buy it. They're dead. So yeah, S&P managed to get out the lows. So yeah, gone with the NASDAQ basically. So downside on the S&P, got that level there, which is previous Globex, reacted there. So watch that for a bounce up into there. Somewhere around, that's a round number, it's 6,000, sorry. Yeah, so look for a bounce at 6,000 or thereabouts. Somewhere around there, you're likely to get buyers in. Mind you, it's buying back up now already, isn't it? So they're buying it at 6,001. In the futures market, this is obviously CFDs, but in the futures market, you might find that's a 6,000 bounce that's going on. It's probably priced at 6,000 in futures. That's why it's bouncing. Haven't got futures open at the moment. Tesla fallen off a cliff, is it? That'll be why the NASDAQ's collapsing then. Mind you, Tesla's in all of the indices, isn't it? As we discovered the other day. So, yeah, you'd expect them all to be weak today. So we may get a break to the downside on the Dow, but I'm not going to bother with it. Right, that's all I've got today. Nothing much else to discuss. Just waiting for the rest of this to play out today. well, this week rather. Don't expect a massive amount of movement tomorrow and Friday. So it's a bank holiday in the US, obviously Thanksgiving, and Friday is a half day. So you tend to find the one of two things happens. Either the yen has a massive rally for some reason. They do this for some. It's the same with the yen. When there's a Japanese holiday, the US tends to push the yen. So you might find there's a big yen move tomorrow. But other than that, you'll probably find it's very quiet in the UK session as well. So don't be concerned if stuff just sits around and does absolutely nothing for the rest of the week. It's normal. News wise, the rest of this week, we've got CPI for Germany tomorrow, which will give us a good indication as to what inflation's doing for the Eurozone. We're expecting it to kind of bounce and stagnate, which is why they're going to keep interest rates where they are. We've got Bullock speaking tomorrow, but that's it. And then on Friday, we've got GDP for the Canadian dollar, and we've got Bailey speaking, but that's it. So kind of at the end of the day, we're not really doing much. So tomorrow morning, we've got a members stream, which I haven't really got a plan for tomorrow, and nobody came up with anything from Tuesday's stream to talk about. So I'm going to go through what I'm planning to do with this EA and just discuss ideas about it, because I'm probably going to start another account position trading just pure price action, support, resistance. So which is what I used to do. So less reliance on indicators. So this makes sense to develop this EA into something that's actually usable. So I'm probably going to cover this a little bit more tomorrow. And I'll get a version of this out in the members group so that you can play around with it basically, and do some testing for me. But it's not ready yet. So it'll be a great tool for position trading, or learning to position trade, if you like. The price action toolkit, the position trader EA already has all the buttons on it, obviously, for you to use in the tester. But this is kind of going back to basic support and resistance version. I can't build this functionality very easily into the position trader EA because it's quite CPU intense, having this sort of stuff that you can move around on the chart. And it automatically redraws levels and stuff. So it's quite CPU intense. If I stick it in the position trader EA, it'll grind to a halt. And I don't want to do that because it's exactly what I want it to do at the moment. And I don't want to break it. So this will be something that I'll probably release. I'm just drawing trades on the chart because that's what I think is going to happen. It's just so automatic when you have been trading for such a long time. It's muscle memory. It's just kicking in. It's either going up here. I've subconsciously put that there without even thinking about it. It's weird, isn't it? Have you got this sixth sense? Anybody that's been trading for a while, do you just automatically know where it's going? It's a weird thing you can't teach. I did it in the member stream yesterday. We were using the position trader EA to trade, and I just called exactly where it was going all the time. But I didn't get it right. I got it wrong most of the time, but I got out of the trades because I knew where it was going, if you see what I mean. So if it wasn't going to do that, it was going to do that. And if it wasn't going to do that, it was going to do that. And it did that. It always did one of them. It's weird. All it is support and resistance. And this is what I keep going on about over and over again. It's all price does. It only ever moves to support and resistance. It's all it can do. It's binary. It goes up, it goes down. So by default, it has to go to where it's been. And if it doesn't go to that one, it will go to that one. And if it does bounce, you make money. If it doesn't bounce, you make money. It's very simple, this. When you boil it down and get rid of all the crap, you boil it down to what price actually does. It goes up, it goes down, and it moves through time. That's it. They're the only three things it does. Apply a risk mechanism to it, and you will make money. Just don't try and pick the top and the bottom. Never going to work. I built this EA, actually, so that it's got an option to put a stop loss there. Do you know what? I tested it for an hour, and it just stopped out all the time. So I removed it. Now it makes money. It's bizarre, isn't it? Anyway. We'll have a look at that in more detail tomorrow. And we'll have a play around with it. And I'd just like some feedback on it, really, to get some ideas as to what people might want to do with it. And then I can get something that you can all use and test. Right, so I'll be back tomorrow morning, back on Friday morning as well. And we'll see if the markets are moving. It'll probably be a very short session on Friday because there's not a lot really to look at this week. News is a bit light, and obviously we've got a big bank holiday, but Fridays will be a normal 8 o'clock stream as well. Members, if you're in here, if there's anything you do want to cover tomorrow, stick it in Discord, just so I can have an hour to prepare, and we can cover anything. So if there's anything you want to talk about specific for position trading or anything in general, otherwise I'm going to default to looking at what our strategies that we got in development are doing, and more position trading stuff with that. So all right, have a good day. Anything you need, I will be in Discord. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow morning and on Friday morning if you're not a member, and I will see you then. Have a good day.